Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorials brought to you by Custom Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group. And let's jump right into today's poster. Wants to know how to fix the overcolored area of this photo. And that would include like this guy's nose, below his nose and his chin. It's awfully red because it's so dark in there, and so the color is super saturated, and that's actually pretty easy to fix. The photo itself is kind of a really low resolution. You can see all the pixelation, but that's a whole different issue for a different video. So what we're going to do is create a second layer and then fix that second layer, and that'll be just the areas that need to be fixed. So I'm going to take this original layer and I'm going to first unlock it right here. There's a little lock button. If I click it, it unlocks it, allows me to manipulate it any way we want. Secondly, I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate that layer. I'm going to duplicate it and just hit OK. And now there's two layers. I'll turn off the bottom layer by hitting this little eyeball. If I turn off the top layer, obviously you're going to see nothing. So we'll turn that top layer on again. And let's first get rid of the area that we want to change or enhance. And that's going to be with the eraser. So we'll grab an eraser. And down here, the choice of brushes from the top is soft brushes. And as you scroll down, you'll see that it becomes hard brushes. You don't want that. We want a soft brush. So let's pick something here, like let's say 45. That looks a little bit small. I'm going to change this to a 75 point, and that'll give us a nice big brush here like this. I can zoom in with the mouse scroll wheel a little bit to see this a little bit better, and then I'll go back to the eraser. Once again, it's 75 point, and let's go ahead and erase the portion that we want to lighten. And that's going to be right along there. And you see what you see through is a transparency. The Photoshop Elements transparency guide is a checkerboard behind. And that's what you're going to see. And that's what we want to lighten up and change. Now, down here, it's a little thinner. So what I'll do is I'll come down here and change this to like 45. And that makes the circle smaller. See, I can just do this and touch it up like that. And then come down here and maybe go back up to 65 so that it kind of grabs all of this area here like that. And I might want to just do a little bit of the child's eyeball because it's very, very dark. So let's make that like 35 and just kind of erase a little bit of that. And it'll also help lighten those areas up too. Now I'm going to zoom back out. Now we see the portions that we want to fix. All we got to do is turn on the back layer. See this button here, the line there tells that it's off. I hit it and it turns it back on. I can toggle it back on and off. And what you're seeing is through these holes, you're seeing the bottom layer. So if I turn off the top, you can't tell the difference because I'm just showing the bottom. But the way to show you exactly what we're doing is if we go to the bottom layer, choose it here, come up to Enhance, come down to Color, come down to Adjust Hue and Saturation. This is going to prove to you exactly what we've done. If I change the hue drastically, you're going to see the portions of the video that we want to change. Look at that. See that? How cool that is? And that's just the portions that we want to change. It's that easy. So well, let's bring this back to the middle here. We can toy around and maybe just, it's so reddish, we can bring it into the greens a tiny bit. I mean, literally it's a +2 just to make it a little bit less red. Maybe I'll go to +3. Then we go to saturation and I can take it to the bottom to make it black and white, take it to the very top where it's overly saturated, and just play around to what we like. And I think we want to bring it less right here to about -11, and that looks really good. Now take the lightness and we can make it really dark or make it really bright and just find exactly what we want to do and lighten the whole area just a tiny bit like this. And that looks good right at +9. And there it is. Your picture has been fixed. You want to see the before and after? There's a preview button here. Here's the before, after, before, after. It's really subtle, but it makes a huge difference in the photo. I'll hit OK, and then I'll just save this as a JPEG. And there you go. We got a fixed photo from what we had before. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is Rich calling it quits for this tutorial, saying over and out.